It is Thursday. You're wondering why I've uploaded bonus episode time here at HD, the wizard himself, and that is a 1KD powered two-wheel drive N70 Hilux with a load of power.
With 6 special modifications done to it.
All of the fruit.
I counted as high as I can count. So.
I can't count over 5, so we've called in Hayden. In this bonus episode, what are we going to do?
We're going to go into what it takes to make
250 horsepower
out of your 1KD, whether it's in a 4x4 or a 4x2. This one behind us has a heap of awesome modifications done to it. We're going to take you through the difference between a VNT, a gated turbo, a piggyback ECU versus an ECU remap, as well as go into the sort of mods that you need to get the job done yourself at home. So let's take a look at what has actually been done under the bonnet of this little girl, big girl, however you want to call it, to actually make some horsepower.
Bring it in. If you've ever been a diesel assault anywhere around the country, you'll see these little two-wheel drive, common rail diesel, Hiluxes, BTs, whatever they are, tearing it up.
They do
embarrassing people that have spent 40 grand on TD wagons and stuff.
Billy Crank.
Like, these things just smoke everyone. It's down to weight, it's down to setup. We're going to talk about it today.
Starting with the turbo, we're going to start with the turbocharger. On this one here, the standard turbo is only really good for 20 pounder boost. With 20 pounder boost on the standard VNT turbo, you're only going to end up around that 200 horsepower at the wheels. That's in a 4x4. That's not enough, we need more. So first thing we're going to do here on this particular car, we've gone for a Flex 44mm 1KD waist gated style turbocharger. So it does away with the VNT style turbo and converts it to a more traditional wastegate style turbo. That allows us to run like a heap of boost without any of the VNT control playing into it. So to cool down like all that X, we are running probably around 33 pounder boost on this car. We need a nice big intercooler. This is a PDI intercooler. What that does, if you're not familiar, obviously it takes all the hot air, it passes it through this radiator type cooler. It cools it down in an air-to-air way. As air hits it, it dissipates the heat, and it goes through the engine round about ambient temp. We're gonna have probably 130 degrees coming out of the turbocharger, maybe even higher on this side. We're gonna have about 30 degrees coming out on that cold side. So that's the point of the intercooler. Obviously with the turbo, we upgrade the exhaust system as well. You need to always go for like a 3-inch turbo back when you are chasing anything over that sort of 200 horsepower. You can get away with it in the lower levels, and still recommend upgrading them if you haven't.
If you're a child, you can keep it small, but we like it big.
We do like it big. We do like it big. Talking of big, we have upgraded the injectors. The standard injector as well, at its limit, it's probably around 200. If you really want to push it out, like really take the piss, 220 horsepower. Upgrading the injector on a diesel engine is one of the best things you can really do for performance anyway, because you have a very short range of actually getting that fuel in. And one of the ways you get the fuel in is by extending how long you're injecting fuel for. By upgrading the injector nozzle, essentially what you're doing is you can kind of think of it like upgrading the size of a fuel hose, like you're allowing a lot more fuel up to the injector. And the way it sprays, angles, etc. There's a lot more to it, but you are able to get a hell of a lot more fuel in that shorter time frame. The first entry level upgrade we work with is a plus 30. That's what we've done with this. The airbox is standard on this car.
Controversial.
I know, we do normally see these pull up a restriction around 270-ish horsepower, so that might be our limit today. We'll be able to easily prove that by lifting the lid as we're running the car in the dyno though. Now driveline, obviously this car is manual, so you need something to actually hold all that horsepower and torque that the engine is creating. So we're going for a BRC clutch kit with this one. The BRC is a flywheel and clutch kit. It just bolts straight up, feels amazing, drives amazing. It's by far the clutch kit that I recommend for whether it be a 4x2 or 4x4 Toyota Hilux. All that's no good if you don't tune it. So we're gonna have to tune it. We're doing a combination of things to tune this car, which we're gonna get into here now. Essentially, we are combining an ECU recalibration remap with the standard ECU file, as well as a piggyback ECU, the ECU Shop Pro Boost. That's going to allow us to have multiple tunes on a switch. Being that this is not just a race car, it does have daily duties, but we are chasing like a fair bit of horsepower out of it. Being able to switch those tunes on the fly is something that's capable with the use of that piggyback ECU.
If you have the functionality there and the tech, do it. You know what I mean? You'd be silly not to.
100%. Yeah, so I mean, they make 120 horsepower standard. So when
hopefully double it.
At minimum, I know we'll at minimum double it.
Yeah, which is impressive. For something that weighs realistically nothing.
But let's get into the tuning of the car. I haven't run this car up at all. All we've done is I did a bit of a bench file on the ECU. Not bench, off the dyno file on the ECU, just to delete the VNT, get rid of some fuel quantity limiters, bump some rail limiters up, bump some rail into it. but we'll get into that in the car.
I love bumping rails.
First thing I'm going to touch on before we go too far into the tuning is what is the difference between a ECU remap and a piggyback ECU, and when would you use one or why would you use one or the other. So I'll start off first by saying this is what we're using on this car. This is an ECU Shop Pro Boost ECU. This is a piggyback ECU that wires in over the standard ECU and allows us live control over the engine on things such as fuel rail pressure, injection time, MAP, MAF, so MAP sensor and MAF sensor, which are two things that meter and control air in the engine, as well as read positive boost pressure.
Married at first sight sensor.
So we have gone ahead on this car and fitted a piggyback ECU. Now, as I said before, we haven't just done that. We also paired that with ECU tuning. So this is wired, piggyback to the standard ECU, and then you have the ECU itself still in the car, and then we are able to read and then write to that ECU via the OBD port to change some certain parameters in the ECU that allow us to achieve an optimum result. Now, why wouldn't I just do it all in the factory ECU? Well, it's really just the ability to, where's the switch? It's down here somewhere, I think. It's in here somewhere, but essentially you can then fit a switch to that piggyback ECU and have 3 tunes. Okay, so you can have like a no fueling tune, a power tune, or like a towing tune that you can flick on the fly. You can just remap this car. One's not necessarily better or worse, but I think that given the opportunity to have a superior product where you have the opportunity to switch, like why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Barely a difference in price, and it gives us as the tuner in that moment a lot more control over the situation with tuning, because you can live tune, because you cannot live tune a factory ECU. You have to, as I said, edit, write, etc. Okay, so that's the difference between piggyback ECU and actually, yeah. Shout out to Manny. Manny owns ECU Shop Australia at Desta Automotive, and he has developed this new software as a replacement for the Ultra Boost, which was the version before this. Absolutely fantastic. The user interface is phenomenal. Very, very excited to start putting this on more cars. So without hopefully disconnecting because I bumped the cable out, let's have a look at what it looks like. So we have configurations like throttle position, map, max, min, as well as a map cut that allows us to run more than the factory map sensor would typically, so the map sensor at 2.2 volts, for example, would be a certain, like call it 18 pounder boost on the factory ECU. The factory ECU sees that much boost for an extended period of time. It thinks it's in overboost, so we have a map cut. That map cut is at 110, which is, it's technically 2.2 volts, essentially meaning that the factory ECU will not ever see more than 2.2 volts, therefore it will never go into overboost, therefore giving any potential for any engine lights or anything down the track. So that's what that is. So let's get stuck into it.
Tune her up.
Okay, so as I said, I've already put an ECU file in it. In that ECU file I put in the car, I was actually trying to diagnose some problems with this car before it hit the dyno, so it might have a bit of extra fuel or rail or something in it that I typically wouldn't have. So I'm going to do essentially a base run now on the car in mode 0 on the ECU Shop Pro Boost. In mode 0, that's got 0 extra fueling, 0 extra rails, 0 extra anything. It's essentially like pretend it's off. Yep. You know, like the thing's off. It's still on, but it's not doing anything. Okay, so that's going to allow us to, we're going to warm the car up as well. That's another thing, got to warm the car up a little bit. I believe, tell me if you think I'm right, so. The beauty to doing a setup like this is that it should honestly be done in like 2 or 3 dyno runs. I reckon if you're 5-6 years into it, and you've repeated the same setup for the past, say, 2 years, and you have to do 35 dyno runs to get that result, that's A, not good for the customer's car.
No.
B, not good for your mental health.
C, not good for your credibility or reputation.
Yeah, so that's a pretty bold claim, but I reckon this car should be done within sort of like, honestly, 4 to 5 dyno runs.
Yeah, it's a recipe, right?
Yeah.
You go 1 KD, we go Turbo X, Injector Y, ECU C, put it in, and we know what it's going to make and how to get the results, which is good.
We will now be attempting a dyno run.
See what happens.
So off the bat, base run, 235 horsepower.
Yeah.
So pretty happy with that.
100 more than factory.
16 to 1 at 25 pound of boost. All right, so something to consider with these gated turbos is that sometimes, depending on the way the gate's set up, it can be a case of the more fuel you add, the more boost it makes. That's not always, but it can happen. So we're going to start by adding in some more fuel from a certain RPM, so above 2000 RPM, where we can already see that you know, it's at 17 to 1 basically, and we're going to see if that extra fuel drive's enough to get us more boost. If not, we'll jump out there and we'll start adding in some boost by way of more, you know, like a boost controller.
Yeah.
So 13 to 1 off the bottom is a bit too rich, but we'll go back and clean that up. So not quite, that's a good thing. If anything, it means we've got really good gate control. That's exactly what we're talking about with your TD, going with external and external wastegates. So we're going through our boost here on that to control our boost now.
Sick.
And
That run 244.
yeah, 244. I pulled off around 3000 RPM.
Yeah.
So
Loves it.
Yep.
It's loving it. Boost controller, go for full send.
This is a Turbo Smart boost controller. It is a mechanical boost tee. We're gonna fit this up between the wastegate of the turbocharger and its reference. So it's gonna live there. We're going to start off with like, maybe like 12, 13 clicks up. Back in the car, we're going to town. Turn the fan on and we've got the new file in there. We've got the laptop in there with the Pro Boost. We'll run it up and see what it's doing now. Let's see what happens. So we've got a lap tracer.
Yeah.
So now that gate's really starting to work, does up around 36 pound of boost. We're not going to want that much boost. We're going to only want like 33 pound of boost.
Just made 700 horsepower.
How about you do something? You going to go turn the boost controller down a bit?
Yeah.
It's just sitting down in front of the brake booster.
How many clicks?
Maybe like 6 clicks down.
6 clickies. Boost down, less boost. That's 5 clicks up from nothing.
Sweet.
NUFFIN. Whole lot of nothing. That's nice.
Made just over 250, I guess. Yep, 255 horsepower.
30 pound of bust.
3.0 exactly, actually.
3.0. £33 of boost finally achieved. Excellent.
This car's made 255 horsepower and 670 newton meters. I'm actually surprised this one pulled up at what it did, given it's a two-wheel drive and no weight and all that.
Yeah.
But 255, that's
No slouch.
it's a 250 horsepower turbo at the end of the day. So
Yeah, true.
all those have been anomalies. This is bang on. So,
Yeah, this is happy as.
so now because we're going to run some low power runs, we'll put this airbox lid back down. All right, that wraps all that up. We've just finished our 3 tunes. We did a power tune, stock tune, and a towing tune. Obviously selectable on the switch with that ECU Shop Pro Boost. Sam, any questions?
No. What would you drive around on? Would it be 200, 230, 260? We've got the 3 options. You got full send, you got daily misses mode, and you got valet 200 stocker.
I'm all about the power tune. Should we show them? All right, welcome to the weather report. Here we have our torque, horsepower, AFR, and boost. In our power tune, we're making 256 horsepower and 670 newton meters of torque. That is at 2000 RPM. As you can see, our RPM on this bottom axis here. So heaps of torque, and the way it holds torque, it's got over 580 newton meters all the way to 3000 RPM and dips as low as 480 at peak torque. Keep in mind, they don't even make that standard. They make 130 horsepower and 280 newton meters standard. So you got more torque absolutely everywhere. Horsepower, obviously each, I was gonna say each color represents each tune. So, you know, stock, tow, power. And then same with the boost. So on the daily tune, 226 and 520 newton meters, and on stock tune, 207 horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque there. It's needed 33 pounder boost to make that 256 horsepower in the power tune at a 17:1 AFR. And then as we go through each tune, it leans out and has less boost. So there you go, Samuel.
It's just in. Y'all learned something today. Anyway, if you've liked this episode, make sure you subscribe. If you've enjoyed Hayden's knowledge, maybe we'll have him back. Drop a comment below on what other technical, informative diesel performance and tuning episodes you might like to see. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. We might get Hayden to come through and help us answer some. See you next time.